Well, children, here we are, ready to begin Lesson 16, and you're doing very well, I might add. We can see we're going to play the C major scale in whole notes. It's given this name because there are no sharps or flats. We will learn all about them in one of our later lessons. This scale is very important, so learn it well. In measures 2 and 6, play open strings going up the scale, and then coming down, play fourth fingers in measure 10 and 14. Be sure to follow the fingerings over the notes. When you come down the scale, keep your first finger down and stretch your fourth finger over to get it in tune. Now keep your other fingers up, just as you see in the picture. Let's call holding this first finger down the anchor finger, okay? We're going to play the scale slowly. Watch your finger positions and don't forget the anchor finger coming down the scale. Ready? Bows at the frog, first, second, and third fingers down on the G string. 1, 2, ready, play. C, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, open A, 2, 3, 4, B, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, B anchor, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, E anchor, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4. Now let's look at our C major scale in 2/4 time. The 2/4 time signature means that instead of 4 beats in a measure, we will now have 2 beats, and a quarter note will still get 1 beat. Don't forget to use a full straight bow for each note. And also watch those anchor fingers. Let's play 2/4 time together. Ready? Bows at the frog, first, second, and third fingers down on the G string. 1, 2, ready, play. C, 2, D, 2, E, 2, F, 2, G, 2, A, 2, B, 2, C, 2, B anchor, A, G, F, E anchor, D, C. Now we're going to learn 3/4 time. There will now be 3 beats in a measure, and the quarter note will still get 1 beat. Now, by putting a dot beside our half notes, we can change them into dotted half notes, and each will receive 3 beats instead of 2. Don't forget, a dotted half note gets 3 beats. That is why there's only 1 note in a measure. Ready? Bows at the frog, first, second, and third fingers down on the G string. 1, ready, play. C, 2, 3, D open, 2, 3, E, 2, 3, F, 2, 3, G, 2, 3, A open, 2, 3, B, 2, 3, C, 2, 3, B anchor, A4, E anchor, D, C. Now that you know what different rhythm signatures are, the very first thing to do before you play a new piece is look at the signature first and see what the rhythm is. Study hard. Today we're going to learn to play more than just one note in a bow. You'll enjoy doing this because eventually you'll be able to play with more speed and flexibility. In our first exercise, we can see that lines have been used to connect two notes together. These lines are called slurs. It is possible to slur a great many notes in one bow, but for the present, we will begin by slurring just two notes in a bow. When you slur two half notes, as in this exercise, you must try to divide the bow evenly for each note. Therefore, by the time you finish the first half note, you should have only reached the middle of the bow, and then the second note can be played in the remainder of the bow. Remember, you will not start on the up bow until the second measure. Let's try open string slurring together. Ready? Bows at the frog on the A string. 1, 2, ready, play. Down, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4. Did you divide your bow evenly, children? Now, wasn't that easy? Now we can begin finger slurring. In this exercise, we're going to slur A and B in one bow. Keep your bow moving when you put your first finger down and don't stop it. Play as smooth as possible. Let's play this slowly with Tiddle. Ready? Bows at the frog on the A string. 1, 2, ready, play. Down, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. In this exercise, we're going to slur the second and third fingers. Follow the bowings and keep your first finger down when you slur the second and third fingers. Ready? Bows at the frog on the A string. 1, 2, ready, play. Down, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Be sure to review and practice this lesson carefully, children. It's very important. So long. Hi, boys and girls. Now we're going to put certain signs in front of a note which can change it to a higher or lower sound. In our first picture, we see a kind of tit-tat-toe sign, which is called a sharp. When it is placed in front of a note, it makes the note higher. The natural sign below is used to restore the note to its natural sound or position. Again, these two signs are very important also. Learn them well. Looking at our next picture, we can see how to play F sharp on the E string. All we have to do to make F sharp is to move the first finger F up about a ½ inch. It will now be close to the second finger G. Now, isn't that easy? Just imagine you can make any note or finger sharp just by moving it up a half step. Let's try the exercise together. Ready? Bows at the frog on the E string. 1, 2, ready, play. E, 2, 3, 4. F sharp, 2, 3, 4. G close, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. B, 2, 3, 4. In this film, we're going to learn to play F sharp on the D string. We can see from the picture that the second and third fingers will now be close instead of far. Just remember that a note can be sharped just by raising it to its next position. Shall we play our exercise? Ready? Bows at the frog on the D string. 1, 2, ready, play. D, 2, 3, 4. E, 2, 3, 4. F sharp 4, 2, 3, 4. G close, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Now, look at what we have in our next picture. I'm sure all of you must know Susanna. She's a very good friend of Tiddle's. Let's look closely at the key signature, which is where we find an F sharp right between the G clef sign and rhythm signature. By putting the F sharp in the key signature like this, it automatically makes all Fs sharp in the song, unless there is a natural sign in front of the note. It saves a lot of trouble of having to put sharps in front of every F. Now, you can either listen to Tiddle play Old Susanna, or your teacher can play this portion of the record over. Don't forget, it begins on an up bow. Ready? Bows at the tip, on the D string. 1, ready, play. I'll be waiting for you in our next lesson. Here in Lesson 19, we are now ready to learn about eighth notes. An eighth note receives half the value of a quarter note. It therefore takes 2 eighth notes to equal 1 beat or 1 quarter note. Eighth notes are connected together by a line, or when they are found alone, have a little curly tail trailing behind them, as in the eighth rest exercise in our next picture. Eighth notes are best counted by saying 1 and 2 and since they are played a little faster than quarter notes, you will find it easier if you play them in the upper half of the bow. Let's try the eighth note exercise. Ready? Bows at the middle, on the D string. 1, 2, ready, play. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Since there are eighth notes, there would naturally be eighth rests. You can see what one looks like in the first measure on the and of the first beat. Play your first eighth note fast enough so that your bow is silent for the and. Let's play the exercise slowly. Ready? Bows at the middle on the D string. 1, 2, ready, play. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Now let's look at the dotted quarter and eighth note exercise. By putting a dot on the quarter note, we make its value longer by half a beat. But it's easier to play and count it by giving it 2 beats, and the eighth note will be the and, such as 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Use a full bow on the dotted quarter. Then move the bow quickly for the eighth. Let's try it along with Tiddle. Ready? Bows at the frog on the D string. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 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 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Now, isn't this a funny name for a song? What's My Name? I have an idea after you hear it. You'll know it. Now, you can either play along with Tiddle or listen first and then play this portion of the record over. Ready? Bows at the frog on the D string. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you recognize it? What is its name? When you get home, play your song for Mom and Dad and see if they know it. I bet they will. Bye-bye. Since we have learned how to raise the pitch of a note, our final task will be to learn how to lower one. We accomplish this by putting a flat sign in front of the note, and you can see what that looks like in your picture. We are now ready to learn how to play B flat on the E string. When fourth finger B is flatted, it is lowered and placed next to the A, or third finger. So all we must do is bring the fourth finger close to the third. Don't forget to look at the finger position picture to make sure your fingering is correct. Ready? Bows at the frog on the E string. 1, 2, ready, play. E, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4. B flat close. 2, 3, 4. Well done, children. Now we're going to do the same thing with our first finger B on the A string. In order to flat B on the A string, just move the first finger back next to the nut, just as if you were playing F natural on the E string. Shall we try the exercise together? Bows at the frog on the A string. 1, 2, Ready, play. A, 2, 3, 4. B flat, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. E, 2, 3, 4. Well, now look at what our buddy Tiddle is up to. He joined the army, and this is his way of saying goodbye. Now, this is a pretty tricky song because it combines almost everything that we have learned. There's a B flat in the key signature, and the rhythm signature is in 3/4 time. Again, we can either listen to Tiddle play it, or you can play right along. Ready, bows at the frog, first and second fingers down on the D string. 1, ready, play. Children, I hope you've had as much fun learning to play your violins as I have had. There are many exciting and wonderful hours of enjoyment and pleasure awaiting all of you. Sometimes the road to becoming a fine musician can be a little bumpy and hard, but the love, care, and attention you give your violins can make it much smoother. Here's hoping we meet soon again. Goodbye and good luck from Tiddle the Fiddle!